Yo, what up, what up? So which cryptos should I buy? What should I buy? Because I don't think I can tell you guys what to buy, but I can tell myself what to buy. So why do I buy these things? What's the point? Is there any point to any of this? Am I just aimlessly gambling? No, the answer is absolutely not. I hear a lot of people ask me like, what cryptos should I buy? You know, at the gym, had a veteran of the channel ask me today, what should I buy? How do you make the determination of what to buy, and how do you determine between these 22,985 cryptos? Not to mention a lot of these synthetic cryptos and synthetic tokens that are on top of these 22,985 cryptos. So like, what do you buy? I can't tell you what to buy, but I'm going to tell myself what to buy. I'm going to tell you why I buy it, and how it's important to me, how I think it's going to change the world, and how I think you should look more into these, and that kind of thing. Shabone Inu is up 221%. Now I don't care what's trending, really, guys. I don't care if this is an airdrop. I don't care if this is a new coin that's going to change the world. I don't just jump into everything and follow the herd to the slaughterhouse. It's a good way to end up losing all your crypto, all your money, and really have a sour experience with this. So I'm making this episode for anybody that's new to crypto. If you're not new to crypto, you might not find any interest in this episode, but I'm making it anyways. So first things first, guys. There's 22,985 cryptos. That's a lot. I mean, that's not, that's not 200, 300. Just a few years ago when I got into crypto, I think there was under 1,000 at the time. There was around 700 or 800, 900. And, now we have this 22,985. A lot of the cryptos that I was talking about out of that 700 or 800 aren't even around anymore. So, really the most important things when you're looking at crypto and you're first getting into it, you need to ask yourself, why am I in this stuff? Why am I wanting to buy this stuff? What is the driving force that's wanting me to purchase cryptocurrency? And let me answer that question for you, so you don't have to sit there and wonder. Because it's really an empty question. You don't even know where to look for that stuff, because this whole crypto ecosystem is so censored. If you start going to look at this stuff now on your own, you're going to be totally lost. Every one of these coins will give you a billion ways. You can go online and find 100,000 different ways why you should buy each one of these. And you're going to see marketing campaigns all over the internet to buy every single one of these. And most of them are trash. I would say about 95% of these are all garbage. Now, how important they are in the whole big picture of crypto, moving these prices higher on some of these coins, that's kind of a speculative, controversial type topic. I'm not going to really get into that. That's for more people that have been in crypto for a while. I would say a lot of these cryptos, even these crap coins, do, in the big scope of things, maybe matter to some extent that I'm not even aware of. But for this episode, I'm just going to kind of skip over that topic, because it doesn't really matter. It's not going to do us me or you any good, me talking about that kind of stuff. So when I look at cryptocurrency and I ask myself, why am I in this stuff? The reason is to challenge the current financial system. It's the most basic level that I can explain to you, is to challenge the current financial chains that have been chained on us since before the Roman times. It's to challenge the people that are in Congress wearing their clown suits to work, sitting in a room, making rules for everyone. It's to challenge those people. At the root core of what cryptocurrency was designed for, that is the root elements of crypto. Now, moving on, there are different type cryptocurrencies that perform different functions. Not all of them are the same. Not all of them have been created to perform the same thing. But I would say there's probably less than 50 that I would even consider buying out of this 22,985. Now that shouldn't discourage you from digging into every single one of these that you find interesting, even if it's something as simple as the name, the graphic, and or the market cap. Because all the above I just mentioned has driven these coins, some of these type coins, through the roof. So if your idea is to just get money, maybe you can get lucky in that respect. If you want more fiat dollars, maybe you can get lucky in that respect. But when I look at a crypto and I say, am I going to put in any fiat dollars into this? Well, I think of a lot of things, because fiat dollars don't grow on trees. I mean, you heard the saying, money doesn't grow on trees. Fiat dollars doesn't grow on trees either. It requires work, dedication, and sacrifice. So those three things, most people don't want to do. So if you are going to go spend your hard-earned energy and time to meet those three criterias, you're not going to just want to go put this stuff into anything, because it could go to zero, you could lose everything, that kind of thing. So I know how hard I work. I mean, you should probably have an idea of how hard you work. So to just go dump money into something and hope it goes up, that's not the way to do this. In fact, I would say if that's why if you're trying to get rich quick in here, and somebody put a comment in my one of the comment boxes too. A lot of these people are trying to come in here with $50 and put it in there and expecting to be, $10,000 overnight, or they put in 100 grand, they want to be a millionaire overnight. It just doesn't happen that way in crypto. I don't know how this stuff moves in the background, but it just doesn't happen that way. And you hear about all these people, oh, well, I read this thing, and yeah, you read a lie. And this is almost like a jailhouse story every time you turn on, any news or any Twitter about crypto. You hear about these, you heard the jailhouse lawyer, the jailhouse millionaire. Everybody in jail has a story of what they were doing outside of jail. And you know what? Most people get out of jail and they don't have anything to even go back to because they're full of shit. So that same kind of broad concept applies in this. You hear about all these people making money. You hear about them posting on it on Twitter and posting this, that, and the other. But none of them really have shit. And a lot of them don't even own much crypto, and they just got into this stuff. And a lot of these big name people like Michael Saylor, and a whole bunch of other these clowns, they haven't even been in this shit long enough to even have an opinion. In my personal opinion, they don't even have an opinion because they just showed up. So it might sound a little bit arrogant, but whatever. I mean, it's true. And I think if you ask most of the people in the crypto community that have been in it for a number of years, even more than me, they'll tell you the same thing. Just come in here, shut the fuck up for a few years, learn about it. If you make some money, fiat dollars, great. If you lose some money, great. It's part of it. So, as I'm avoiding my original question, which cryptos should I buy? Well, I'll tell you what I own. They're all at the top of the screen. And I own Litecoin too, so I need to throw it at some point at the top of the screen as well. So, the reason I own these, right? It's not just, I didn't pull it out of a hat. I didn't just Google and find one interesting article. I spent days, nights for almost 6 years. Every day I learn something new about crypto, whether it's a conversation I have with somebody that makes me connect the dots on why they're thinking certain things and why I'm not thinking that thing. It can be something as simple as that. Or it can be an article I read, or I could put an article I read with something I read 4 years ago. Every single day I learn something new about crypto. There hasn't been a day gone by since 2017 that I have not looked at cryptocurrency, and I'm not just talking about the fucking price. I looked at that too, but I'm not just talking about the price. Wow, I'm really dragging this question out. So which cryptos do I buy? They're all on the top, as well as Litecoin. I do own a little bit of Litecoin. I don't have a huge holding in Litecoin, but I've used Litecoin a lot. I just happen to have my mouse on here. So I know everybody likes me talking about Litecoin on this channel. I like Litecoin. It's a good crypto. It works. It's cheap. It's fast. It has use cases. It has a good community. See where I'm going with this? So, what do I look for in these things? I don't just look at the market cap, because surprisingly, guys, I don't own a lot of BTC Core. I own a little bit, but I don't own a lot. It's probably one of my, it's probably like my 5th or 6th biggest holding, to give you an idea. It's not a main holding that I have. It's a little bit in terms of fiat dollars, but I'm talking about in the grand scheme of how much I own with fiat dollars, because a lot of people coming into crypto, they pin everything to fiat dollars, and I really recommend the earlier you abandon that idea, the better for me and you, because we can actually start talking about the fun stuff. So I don't own a lot of BTC Core. I mean, you can go back and read on it. There's a website. It's called 99bitcoins.com. You could actually, I recommend going to Google. A lot of people say this is a censorship website, but I don't buy all that shit. There's a lot of facts and detailed events that is happening in the timeline of BTC Core Bitcoin that is worth checking out the site. So go to Google, type in 99bitcoins.com historical graph. Click on it and start at the beginning and just read the events. You don't have to read it all in one sitting, but over time, read the events. I've read it. I've gone through the whole thing at this point. Took me probably over a year to do, because I went through it very slowly and looked at it, went back, revisited it, took some time off. I'm talking about a year's time. It probably took me 3 years to go through the whole thing, or maybe even 4. But I did it. I went through it all. So I have a little bit of knowledge about this. I don't know everything. I don't claim to. I don't claim to be the guru of crypto. But I know a little bit, and I'll leave it at that. Ethereum. I've owned it. I've sold it. I've made fiat profit dollars off of it. This project ain't for me anymore. I don't have anything against it. I wish it the best, but it's not for me. It's just not. There's not a cap supply on this stuff, guys. All right? There's a circulating supply. There's no cap supply. So that's rule number 1. I don't buy a crypto that doesn't have a fixed supply. Okay? I don't touch them. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean I'm not open to it. In fact, I do own some cryptos that don't have a fixed supply. I take that back, okay? I do. I'm talking about the main ones that I own. I own probably, I don't even know at this point. I have probably 10 different cryptos that I own. Some are very small holdings. Some are much larger. And, I don't feel like I have to stretch my bag out between 100 different coins, because I haven't found 100 that I like, and I've looked. So first things first, like I said, I only buy for the majority of unless I buy them as novelty items. I have some coins that I have as I have over 10 cryptos, okay? But some of them are like very small. I even own fucking Terra Luna. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that I own Terra Luna? I own Terra Luna and Terra Luna Classic. Who would have thought? Or the new Terra Luna, whatever the fuck it was. I own 2 different types of Terra Lunas. But they're so small, I only look at them as a novelty item. I don't look at them as like, oh, this is going to change the world. I just bought some just to, fuck around. I had some. I've had it, my brother made a little bit of money off it dropping and going up. So I waited till it went like way the fuck down, and I just held it. I just still have it. It's still in my wallet. I'm not going to ever probably sell it. I'm not going to ever do anything for it. I'll never cash it out because it's so small. But buy cryptocurrencies that are, for one, they have a fixed, finite supply. You don't want an infinite number of coins coming into these circulating within their blockchain as tokens or coins. A lot of these ERC20 tokens, they don't have cap supplies. So that's a risk that I'm not willing to take. So I don't really touch ERC20 tokens. There's a few I like. Actually, I do own some ERC20 tokens. So see, I'm I'm not meaning to say I don't own them, but I don't own enough where it matters. I own some Osmisigo. I finally bought some about, I don't know, it's been almost probably a year, but I don't own enough where it really matters for me to talk about them. So I only buy cryptos that have a finite supply. I believe most of the ones up above this screen have a finite supply. Some of them might have voting mechanisms built within based on stakeholders that might increase that supply in the future. And to be frank, BTC Core could increase, everybody says this is only going to be a certain amount fixed supply on Bitcoin. That's not necessarily true. A lot of people have that wrong. That's not necessarily true. If enough miners and enough node operators get behind it and increase it, they're going to increase it. So none of this is set in stone. As bad as everybody wants to say it is, it's not. Now, I don't think it'll happen. That's not something I think will happen at any time soon. I don't think we're going to increase the supply on Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, or BSV, or any of those. But I make sure that they have a finite supply. The reason I'm talking about it for 5 minutes is because it's important. You need to know this. You don't want to jump into a coin because you read something on Twitter, you clicked on it, it sent you to a cool little fancy website, and all of a sudden you're buying something that has a 10% circulating supply with the founders owning 95% of the bag. Sound familiar? Crypto GPT. I made a video about it. This kind of stuff happens it spreads like a wildfire. This stuff's all over crypto. This little piece of fire right here should have a list of 22,000, 800 cryptos, and they should all be on fire because they're all crap. All of them. I don't care what you say. These are all worthless. Now, moving on, the majority of my bag, the majority of the cryptos that I hold, I would say about 80%, 70% are mineable. Because I don't like the idea of big bag holders promising that they're going to stay put. I don't like that idea. Because if node operators or stakeholders, think of a proof of stake coin. The people that have voting power, like Tezos, Ethereum, if you have 32 Ethereum, you can be a validator node. They are essentially the nodes and the miners, even though they're not getting a reward technically in the same fashion as they would get an award by mining a block. They're still getting something, right? And they're still getting some of the runoff. They're still getting some of the fees. They're still getting something in there because they're voting on it. They have the ability to go and vote. You don't, unless you are the node, unless you are the 30. And if you have 32 Ethereum, that ain't really shit anyways. You got to have probably, I would say 20 or 30,000 to really have any kind of impact on a minuscule scale. So I don't like proof of stake coins. You guys know I own Neo, I own NIM, I own a few other proof of stake coins, but for the majority, I would say it's under 30% for all of them put together. There's a few that I have some novelty coins that I just have to, just play around with, just to keep to, I own NIM, that's something I've always talked about on here, guys. I own it, it's just a novelty item. But for the most part, the majority of my wallet, my cryptocurrencies are mineable. Because I don't like the idea of one central point of failure, even if it's 100,000 central points of failure. I just don't know who those people are. I don't know how many are the same people. So it's just the risk outweighs the reward. That's why I'm so bullish on Ethereum Classic. I think it's a better idea than Ethereum. Now, I think Ethereum is fine. I don't have any issue with it. It's just not as good enough. It's not as good for me. That's why I say, if you like it, support it. If you think Ethereum ETH is better, support it. But for the most part, I look at how long a coin has been in. I mean, if a new coin comes into existence tomorrow and it's mineable and it's, having a huge market campaign, I'm probably not going to touch it for a few years, and I might not even touch it ever. The coins that do very well, they don't need to be marketed. If you see a coin or a token that is you're like the slightest bit, you feel like you're pulling into a used car dealership and somebody and a car salesman's running up to you, if you get that feeling at all, your feeling's right, and you should probably not buy it. So I don't buy these cryptocurrencies or tokens or coins or smart contracts or swap promises, any of this shit, unless there is a certain criteria. Mineable? Are they mineable? Yes or no? Do they have a finite or infinite supply of tokens or coins? Yes or no? Have they been around for more than a few years? Yes or no? Who is the development team? Are they trustworthy people among the crypto community? Yes or no? And that's a vague question because a lot of these cryptos, even like Bitcoin Cash, some of the dev team has a controversial past. That's what I read online. Now, I don't know if that's true or not because I don't need to validate that. To me, just because I read one little thing that says, oh, this little group of people did this at, one time, it might not mean that much to me. It doesn't make me, people make mistakes, things happen, people move on, right? It's not the end of the world. So my point is who's supporting it? Who's supporting the crypto that you like? Is there somebody online on YouTube? There's the Bitcoin Cash podcast, Jeremy. I like people like this. So that's a reasoning for me to support a coin. I like Bitcoin Jason. I like Roger Ver. I like some of the other Ryan Griffith. I like who else does Bitcoin Cash videos? Whoever does it. Fucking First Millie. I know he's not making videos. Whatever. Dino Pawns. Yeah, Dino Pawns. I saw was recently on the Bitcoin Cash podcast again. These are people I like. These are people that speak, and I like what they're speaking. I don't feel like I'm getting a load of bullshit in my ear. So this is just one example. BSV, Joshua Hensley. I've talked about him before. Everybody hates Craig Wright. I don't mind listening to Craig Wright. I don't think he's fucking Satoshi. That doesn't mean I'm like a Craig Wright fanboy sitting here going, hey, he's Satoshi. I don't think he is, and I don't care if he is or isn't. How about that? So this is where I'm going with this. Do you like the people in the community? Do you like hearing them talk about crypto? And I don't mean just, hearing about how they took their fucking, kid to baseball practice so you can relate to it. I'm talking about strictly crypto, right? I don't, just because you find a commonality between, a YouTuber or a content creator that has nothing to do with crypto, don't relate that to supporting the crypto that they're telling you about. Very, I see this a lot in crypto. They'll start talking about fucking cars, or they'll start talking about, their dinner they had last night, and all of a sudden they tell you to buy the crypto, and you go run and buy it just because they were talking about how good their dinner was. You see what I mean? So make sure it's crypto focused. And we're here to talk about this, at least this channel, I'm here to talk about crypto. I'm not telling you what I had, I'm not telling you about the spaghetti I just ate. I'm not talking about the fucking run I went on this morning. I'm not talking about any of that shit. I'm talking about crypto. And when you're buying crypto and you're putting your your energy from making those fiat dollars, whatever it is you do to earn those fiat dollars, you got to make absolute certainty that it's going into something that you are wanting to support. So, like I said, I'm repeating myself, but it needs to be repeated. So, make sure to have a finite or infinite supply, yes or no. Is it mineable? Yes or no? Are you following the community or able to connect with the community on more than just, a common ground level? Is it based on crypto related things that you're connecting to them with? And I was just making this video, guys. I none of this is planned out. What else is there? What are the ideals and the narrative that the community is pushing? Like, what is it's not how many people are behind it, because we've seen that with Shibu Inu. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. If you guys own SHIB and you like it, that's great. I'm just saying what I saw from a crypto person being in crypto for almost 6 years. I saw an ERC20 token come out of nowhere, and I saw the fucking herd flock to it. And a lot of the people that were in it, I'm sorry, I'm sorry to say if you're watching this from my old job, but you guys are stupid as fuck. And I know that you guys are stupid as fuck. And, a lot of people that I was talking about, especially young people I've seen at the gym, they got a hard on for, SHIB. And I tell them it's an ERC20 token and they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So that's the type of stuff I'm saying. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with SHIB. If you own it, that's great, but why do you own it? You know what I'm saying here? Like, do you just own it because every other fucking idiot owns it? I give you an example. I saw these two people, they were a family of fucking 5 or 6. They came into the restaurant I worked at. I was a waiter at the time. It's about a year ago. Saw the dude show him on his phone, SHIB. He was talking about SHIB. I think the guy was talking some kind of language. I think it was Vietnamese, whatever. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with what language he's talking about. But I could tell they were talking about Shibu Inu. So their bill is about $400. I think they left me like fucking $5 or $10 tip. So that's the type of mindset of somebody buying into this shit. Now, I'm not saying that that's everybody out there, but that's the type of mindset that I was exposed to, right? Plus, I got all these idiots at my job talking about SHIB, and they're acting like it's a war on Dogecoin. It's like, dude, it's a fucking ERC20 token. At least Dogecoin has its own fucking chain. So, I know SHIB does too, but it's not the same, okay? Doge is mineable. It's protected by Doge mining and Litecoin mining, so it's totally different. So, the question is why are you owning it? What you own it? Well, because everybody's talking about it. That's a dumb reason. Because that's a herd mindset. You're going to be following the herd right into a slaughterhouse, and you're going to lose all your money. Now, I'm not saying, I'm just picking on SHIB, guys. I don't think SHIB's going anywhere, because I think there's enough people that own it at this point that's going to prop the price up, and that's fine. And maybe they'll, I think they're doing some cool stuff over there now. I don't really know too much about it, but I kind of hear stuff sporadically on the internet. So, maybe it's fine. Maybe it'll be the next Dogecoin or Dogecoin or whatever, and it'll go, 200,000% up in 5 years, like Doge did. But, why? Why do you own it? Well, why do you own it? I lost $2 million on this coin right here. $2 million USD dollars because I sold too early. But I'm still looking at it. I'm like, what is it? Why do I own it? So that's a hard one for me to swallow too, guys. That one right there. So market cap doesn't mean shit. What's cool today? It's like fucking Beanie Babies. You don't know what those are? It's like Pogs. You don't know what those are? It's like fucking baseball cards. You don't know what those are? It's like fucking I don't know what the new fad is, but those are all fads. So what's popular today, these market caps can all change. And the mining can all change too. Just because Bitcoin is the most mined crypto today, has the most hash power today, that could all change. The miners can easily switch to BSV. They can easily switch to Bitcoin Cash. They can easily switch to Bitcoin Gold. They can easily switch to numerous other fucking forks of BTC. So that doesn't mean shit either. So you got to ask yourself, is there a finite supply or is there an infinite supply? Yes or no? Is it mineable? Yes or no? Who's the community behind it? What do they support? What are they pushing for? What are they trying to do? And then why you're in it? What are you doing with your time? The fuck are you doing with your time if you're just in something for no reason? You don't even know why. So figure out why you are in it. And other than that, I can't think of too much. That's pretty much the basis of, and don't think about it like, oh, well, I should have gotten to this early. I should have gotten to this, back earlier. It's fucking pointless to think about like that. Like there's no point to any of that. You can get into it now. The prices are actually really good getting into it now. So don't think about like, oh, like, fuck, man, I wish I would have bought in BTC Core right after the Genesis block, and I wish I'd have talked to Satoshi and said, hey, I want to buy all your fucking BTCs right now. I wish I would have, not sold my Dogecoin. I wish I would have not sold my fucking Ethereum. Like, it doesn't matter about what has happened. All that matters is right now. What are you doing right now to get in this stuff, and what questions are you asking to get on this stuff? Because we're moving, guys. We might not be moving in price right this second, but we're moving in the background, and we're moving on different trading pairs, and things are moving. I mean, there's no lack of in the moving department. Things are moving. I mean, we got NEO up almost 95% in the last 3 months, over 100%, I believe, too, for the last 3 months. XRP has started going up. So I mean, when you really start looking at this for somebody who's been in this as long as me, which isn't that long, it's only 6 years, but you start noticing some things that new people just don't know because the information has been so skewed. It's not accurate anymore, guys. It's not. And if what I'm going on wasn't accurate when I got it, it's more accurate than it is now. Let me tell you that. So we've seen some crazy stuff in the last couple years. And last year, saw Bitcoin Cash up here at top volume for fucking 4 years straight. Now it's way down here. So a lot of this doesn't make sense, but we're figuring it out. We're moving in the right direction. That's all that we can do is move in the right direction. So I think with those questions, I pretty much wrap up the episode and let you kind of just marinate on it. If you made it this far, thank you. And catch you in the next episode. Later.